guys, welcome to Mums in Melanin. My name is Kumbo.
I'm Iola.
I'm Debbie.
I'm Takoni.
And today we're going to be talking about the sensitivity amongst, I guess, this new generation. Are our kids just too sensitive?
I guess we need to think about what sensitivity means. Like, what is like, what's too sensitive?
I think like being sensitive is like you know you have a lot of feelings. You know, you're in touch with your emotions.
Okay.
Like if someone offends you, it kind of cuts deep. Okay. I don't want to say easily offended, but it's, do you know what I mean? You're not made of rock. Like,
I suppose it is easily offended in some ways. When we were growing up, the kind of things our parents might say to us, I don't feel we took it as personal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you're too lazy or you're too, you know, these type of throwaway comments that they might make.
Yeah.
I don't think in our time, it was something we took to affect our identity or the way we see ourselves so much. I feel like we just took it as a throwaway comment. I feel like more thick skin.
I think there could have been a thick skin, or it did affect us and we don't even know.
Yeah. This is what I think.
So for me, like with the question, I don't really think they are too sensitive. I just think we're more aware now of like, the trauma and effects that could happen. Yeah. And it's not everybody. Out of 10 kids, 9 could be fine. But that one may hold it in their heart. And you don't want that to be, do you know what I mean? So, because our parents, they really gave it. Do you know what I mean? They could really insult.
No, they could really.
They could, do you know what I mean? They could really. But and sometimes it did bother you. Do you know what I mean?
But then, you know what? But in a way, did it build resilience?
It's like our minds are in the same place.
Is that how you want resilience to be built?
But not necessarily. But not everybody's going to be nice with their words when they're speaking to you. Do you know what I'm saying? So actually, you don't want to hear from your mom. Look at you, just lazy. Look at your cousin that's doing this, and you don't want to hear it from your parent. But actually, there's going to be people out here in the world that are going to be comparing you to somebody else, or that are going to say things to you that are not necessarily nice. And it's not everything that somebody says you're going to start crying. Do you know what it is? Do you know what I mean? Like you actually you need to have some sort of backbone. You need to have a thick skin. You need to be able to take criticism, because that's essentially what it is. If someone's saying to you you're lazy, it's because they've observed that you're not doing anything and you're lazy.
It's a nice way to put it.
I was going to say it's not an insult.
It's criticism disguised as insult. You know what I mean? Like
also,
straight insult.
Maybe I can kind of empathize more because I see myself as a bit of a sensitive person. Do you know what I mean? So
growing up then, like when like your mum might make throwaway comments, do you think you harboured it?
No.
Exactly.
And I take it seriously, but as an adult, maybe that's no. But you know what? I'm not gonna question you. You're just chatting. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. But then why society today can just be you love me? Because sometimes I wonder if it's, you know, knowledge is power, isn't it? The more that I know, the more I'm likely to, it's affected my well-being, because I'm now aware that comments can affect my well-being.
Yes.
Once upon a time, she said it and you said she was just angry, but you know she loved you.
Yes.
So why in this day and age can you not make sure you kind of
the awareness
to your child, I love you, like, and make sure they don't question that, and they make a comment and it's not going too far. Like,
I think it's a risk you can't take. As I said, I think some kids will let it roll off their back. Some kids will hold on to it. Do you know what I mean? And you don't know which.
But also, it does depend on the comment that's being made. I'm very much a sensitive person. Exactly. If you say something to me, like I'm more times I'm gonna take it to my heart, and it depends on, I guess, A, our relationship, B, how you said it, and C, how I'm feeling about myself in that moment. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, for example, in my adult age now, if you were to say to me something, I don't know, like, you're so lazy, you don't do anything.
But you know yourself
I'm
now.
going to be like, bro, go and tell that to somebody on the corner street. So I'm not interested in this crap. Do you know what I'm saying? But then if you say something like we had discussion about kids using screen time. If you say to me like, don't you think this child is a bit... I may take it because it's something that's already on my mind. Do you know what I'm saying? So
but
it all really depends.
But even like the comment of, you're lazy. I feel like our parents were doing it as in a way where they're saying, they're trying to motivate you. It's different than throwing just an insult. Like you can motivate a child or anyone, but in different ways. You don't need to insult them or say, you're lazy. But I think it was just a way to motivate that child,
for them to be like, no, I'm not lazy, and
right?
do the opposite.
Right, and the same reason why our parents used to compare. Your cousin's doing this, or this person's doing this. Is to motivate us. But now we can't use that way.
Comparison is so dangerous.
Right, we can't do that.
When we were growing up, I think every one of us had comparison. Right?
Yeah.
And the truth is, I don't think it probably affected any of us the way it will probably affect today's generation. it's a lot more, and I think even we're more conscious of it because we know that there's this kind of feeling that this generation can't be compared, don't do that.
And you know what it is? The society is very much more for the children. Whereas before it was like, okay, parents handle their kids, it is what it is. You would only know, the society, so to speak, would only really get involved when things got really bad.
Yeah.
But now the littlest thing, and it's well, you know, so and so said this, we need to look into it, or so and so has rights, and these children are now knowing. Remember back in the day when if you even uttered your mouth to say, I'm going to call Childline, go on then, they will take you away, you will go. You will never see me again. Now, it's like, yeah, children, they know.
Empowered children.
Social media, they know your rights.
It's empowerment.
Empower them, exactly. Yeah. So they now feel they have the vim to be like, well, actually, no, I'm not going to take that because I know.
So
do you
know
what I'm saying?
Now? So because the children have more information and more empowered, we now have to walk on eggshells around them.
But also, I think it's awareness for us parents. So it's reflected back into the children. So how we're like more aware of how what we say can influence and stick with children. That's why we're more like cautious about it. Otherwise, our parents didn't think that when they were talking to us, when they were telling us off or insulting or whatever, they didn't think, oh, whether will my child,
how will it affect them?
Yeah. But then it's that love. Yeah, exactly. It didn't either. It didn't affect me either.
Well, I'm happy with how I am. How about that? And I don't mean that in a funny way, but what I'm saying is, sometimes I feel like, you know how things are ever developing, right? Like now there's, you know, children being depressed and children depression is more of a thing now than you can't tell our parents back in the day your child is going through depression.
For what?
A child depressed.
She's just
what is that?
Fantastic, by the time she wakes up now, do you know what I mean? Like, I told her, it just wasn't a thing that they really worked with or understood. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So I wonder if it's because of this new knowledge. Not that it's a bad thing, but obviously the new knowledge is open to the child and open to the parents. Everybody's kind of a bit more cautious. Yeah. Like you said, a child is more likely to call child helpline if they get in trouble for X, Y, Z and mommy screamed at them than back in the day when we just never even tried it.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I just feel like, for me, I think the knowledge that the children now have made them more sensitive because they're almost taught that you're a victim if you go through this. So naturally, if I'm taught that this is bad and I should feel sad or I shouldn't be going through it, then naturally I'm going to want to speak up for myself. Does that make sense? We weren't taught that if someone spoke to you a particular way, part of it's labeling, isn't it? Your mum would just come out and just label you anyhow. But you weren't taught that you were being victimized by being, labelled as this, that and the other. So it wasn't, do you know what I mean? I suppose it created a thick skin because you didn't see it as something that you're internalizing or something that you're absorbing.
I think back to what T was saying earlier, I think it's to do with the fact that some children were resilient. They kind of like became strong from it, and some children really suffered from it and did, go down having depression. Maybe not even in their younger years, but their older years. Not being able to manage certain things, just not being able to deal with criticism, even like simple things like that. And I think it comes from obviously the children that struggled with it. The children that suffered from it is a reason why now it's like, okay, let's empower everyone to prevent this from happening. But it's.
But I mean, some people, for example, so a mum might be very, very tired. She's gone for a long day of work. She's trying to, make dinner or clean or something. And the child comes and wants to, do some screen time. They want to watch Sonic. This is just examples. But like, I want to watch Sonic, and you're just like, no, you can't. You're tired. You've been through a crazy day. Your manager's been moving mad, and it's like, no, I want to watch Sonic. Maybe have a tantrum. In that moment, come on, we all speak. We're all humans. You know what I mean? You might just be like, go and sit down somewhere, or you watch too much TV, or it's time to. That's because I remember back in the day. Listen, if you say you want to watch, I'm like, what grade did you collect in English again? By the time she starts there, you just carry yourself away. Forget even what I started. Never if I'm English book. Forget this topic even started.
They'll just randomly insult you like, Mommy, can I watch TV? Watch TV. That's why your head is big. Like, I just watching TV.
Exactly.
I just like raw.
So do you think in today's age, if you said that to your child, do you think your child would be damaged by those kind of comments?
Yeah.
It could be.
I wouldn't say.
And
they may not be damaged, but I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's not nice. Like, I just think it's just not nice.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want that vibe or atmosphere in my house.
And
I don't feel like it's
there's better ways to tell your
child off.
It's not really.
And even when you say labeling, like, you know, we're more mindful. I'm more mindful about the things I say to my children. I don't say, oh, you're not. I don't use certain words like naughty.
I hate it.
Like you ruin things. So I really try and change my language because these type of things. Oh, you're lazy. A child will say, okay, cool, then I'll just chill. Then I'm gonna be lazy. You're already calling me lazy, so why not?
And people you're speaking over them.
Exactly.
Do you want them to be lazy or happy for you?
Right.
Speak what you want into your child. Speak positivity.
And this is something that I'm very aware of what I'm saying. Sienna or Azra, any of them, I'm like, oh, you don't listen. I even changed that. I said, you will listen. You know, like, you need to change it because there's sometimes you, as a parent, you can't help it. Like, there's things you're gonna say that you don't even think your
vocabulary,
right? And we're speaking, like you're saying, speaking things into existence. There's no point of saying so much negativity over a child. Like, it's a life. Think of it.
Building them.
A whole life.
If my job is to build you, I can't be knocking you down.
I can't be knocking you down.
Although we could handle it.
Can you say that one again or what? Can you say that one again?
But it's true, like, at the end of the day, I think we have to remember that. And I think the beauty of this generation is we listen to ourselves. So when you say something, like you said, sometimes you might say something like that, you catch yourself
correct
and
myself.
You switch it. And I think that is a beauty. But I do think that some people feel that because that teaching, because it didn't, I'm going to be honest, it didn't damage me. Like, I might have rolled my eyes, but it really didn't. I just thought, this one is tired. I just thought, oh, here we go again. Like, it didn't.
But do you feel that's because you have thicker skin? Things don't necessarily get to you straight away. Whereas, like T says, she's sensitive. I'm highly sensitive. You can say something to me and I'm like, rah, why are you saying that for? Even in my big age now, I'm quite sensitive.
So do you think with your mum though, when she said particular things to you? Because there's sensitivity with strangers and people just like friends, and there's that, and then there's one at home,
But I feel like, there's definitely things, because for me personally, I feel like how do I word this? I set expectations of people. So even with like my family, like my mum, I expect her to speak and treat me in a certain way because she's my mum. But whether they're realistic expectations or not, that's my mum, isn't it? That's just how it is. So when she's now said something to me that is less than I expect of her, it hurts my feelings. And I may be blown out of proportion, but because of how I'm built, that's how I process it. So like, I think one year she gave me a birthday card and it said something like, oh, I can't remember what it said. Like, it said something in the birthday card and I was just like, why would you put that in my card? I was so upset. I can't remember. I won't remember it. It was like something like, oh, I prayed this year, like you start to do better. So listen, something, you know, like it's like like a left hand. You know when they say, oh, you look well, you put on weight. You look like you're fat, but you look okay with it. It's fine. So some backhand, you know, Nigerians, they're good with that. And I was just like, what? And I'm a person that I'm very sentimental. I keep cards. I promise I ripped up that card straight away. And I didn't speak to her and I actually cried. Because I'm very sensitive in that way. Because I'm like, I don't expect to see something like this in my birthday card. If you say it to me, all right, mum, man, fine. But to see it written, it's like, why would you do that? And it really hurt my feelings. But then I know that I'm a very sensitive person. If somebody cries, I'm going to cry with them. Whether I know you or not. Like, I'm very empathetic, but that's just how I'm built. So I'm not surprised that, like, the children that I've created, if they're Kiana's very sensitive. Kiana can cry at anything. Like, that's just the way it is. I'm not surprised by that. And I'm not, like, so I'm very cautious of how I speak to her because I know that I don't need to... Because Kiana, she will cry. It's literally. So I know how I speak with her, how I deal with her, based on how she is. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's just I don't know.
Balance thing. Yeah. With my mum, she would 100% tell me off. My mum was like, she will tell you off for doing something wrong. My mum has been my best friend for the longest time. Like, me and my mum talk every day till today. Even in uni, we spoke every single day. If she hasn't called me, I don't have like, you didn't call your daughter, what's happening here? Or vice versa, we've always been like that. So I think even in secondary school or whatever, because we've always been so close, she's always had, I don't know, she just, always made me feel like this is your safe haven. I have your back. I've always had that with my mum. So regardless how, like that's why probably for me it was upset because I didn't wash the plate, and I was supposed to wash the plate, and I just didn't wash the plate, and I'm okay with that. I know that I was asked to kind of go away and feel like, oh my God, like, you know, I feel labelled or I feel small or anything like that.
Yeah, but generally, do you think that type of thing? You just feel hurt. You're just getting your feelings. You don't know that I'm being labelled or you don't know
exactly.
that.
You don't think about it as labelling.
But you would think, oh, mummy thinks that of me. Or daddy thinks that of me.
Internalise that later on. They think, oh, the way she just thought about me, she just never really, do you know what I mean? People internalise things and think of, and it produces a different type of perspective as to what they thought they went through in their childhood. Do you know what I mean? And I suppose it comes back down to every child being different, but balance, like, regardless of how much trouble I'm getting in, my mum, she always listened to me. I was always allowed to kind of explain. If any, honestly, regardless of what's happening, she'll want to hear what I've got to say, even if in the end she doesn't like it. There's still that relationship was key, and I think for me, that's why when I'm in trouble, I can take it as a singular event. I'm just in trouble because I've done this, and I know what I've done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think even outside of the home, I like the sensitivity in this generation in a sense that when something happens, they make noise about it. Do you know what I mean? They feel it. Like, do you know what I mean? If something's not right, they're standing up for it. They're doing protests. They're walking out. Actually, I don't even want this job. How about that? They're quitting jobs.
Did you guys see the tweet that was going around about how people are quitting their jobs these days?
Yeah, they're not. It's
no one's batting around.
Yeah, it's not. There's no undying loyalty. I'm not gonna kill myself for you. Do you know what I mean? Actually, my feelings are valid. They're important. If I don't like it, I'm out. Do you know what I mean? If you're not doing, if I feel like you're mistreating black people, we're gonna talk about it. If I feel like John, we're gonna tweet about it. I like that.
But that's using your I don't know if I should really say sensitivity or just being empowered, like knowing. Do you know what I mean? Like
it's the empowerment.
Because in some ways, it's using I don't know. It's because it's an empowerment thing. It's understanding that, do you know what, this is nonsense.
This is not right.
I'm walking away.
Yeah, but I think it's also feeling though. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't know. I feel like the previous generation, I don't want to say they lived their life numb because it wasn't numb, but they put their feelings to the side.
What generation are you talking about?
What do you mean?
Our parents.
Okay.
They put their feelings in so many ways. Do you know what I mean? Like they put their self on the back burner. Their own feelings, their own desires. You know what I mean? They put them to the side for the focus of building in this country, 100%. Or the focus of looking after their children to do their job. But this generation, they're here to live their bestest life.
But I think
they're
because
not putting themselves to the side.
But I think it's because of what we've seen our parents. We've seen them do it, and we're like, I don't want that. I don't want to do that. That's so we're advocating. We're talking because we want a change.
We want effects.
Right. But I mean, using it as a power, using it as a tool is everything. Like, I do feel like children are very sensitive these days. Whether it's good or...
They call them the Snowflake generation, isn't it?
I guess it depends on the character.
They're so delicate.
So delicate.
But you know what it is? It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing if it's managed well, isn't it? Within yourself, as parents, but you know your child. So you know how to deal with them.
At the same time, you don't want to be walking on eggshells. You don't want to be...
That's what I'm saying. With your child, you know how to deal with them. So you can provide them with the tools to be like, actually, you know what? I understand you feel this way, but what I'm saying to you isn't about you directly. It's to help you in future. So even if you say something, because they're going to be criticised. Or if you know what, I shouldn't have said that to you. I'm sorry. It's okay to apologise to your child. It's fine. Then you're not going to lose any credibility. You're not going to get a badge knocked off your... Like, if you've done something wrong, say sorry.
Your children watch you. If they can see that saying sorry is difficult for you, believe it's going to be difficult for them.
100%.
You're showing them that it's some type of a weakness or something. You have to be example for your child.
It's fine. I know some people have the mentality how can I say sorry to my child? Actually... If you do something wrong, say sorry. They have feelings too. They have feelings too. So you know your child. You can speak to them. You can talk to them and be like, you know what, you did X, Y, and Z. So I said this. Okay, maybe mummy shouldn't have said it like that. But you need to be able to take certain things, because when you grow up and you go to work and people are gonna say things that you don't like, and you can't always cry. You can't cry when you don't get what you want.
It's finding the balance of trying to build resilience, but at the same time some sort of sensitivity to be able to kind of have both, because we need the resilience to be able to thrive in this world. It's hard in this life, adulting, being female, male, even they both have their different issues, isn't it? And you need to be able to kind of like be resilient, a little bit thick-skinned, but at the same time being able to speak out.
It reminds me of one of my jobs, like one of my early, just out of uni jobs. It was a professional job in a law firm, and obviously the tensions are always very high. And the manager, she was a very interesting lady. Anyways, one day she just flipped. She stood up, she screamed, everybody, we're all going home. It's 5 o'clock. I think at the time we didn't understand that the office politics in that particular office, that when it's 5 o'clock, though it's the end of your contract, you don't go home. It's the topic for another day. You know, people that expect you to kind of keep working till like 5:15, 5:30. Don't know if you guys have ever worked in environments before, but I have, right? And so she stood up, because everyone stood up. Everyone basically, a few of us had basically turned off our screens and everything for dead on 5 to carry your bags and go. Because we ever had a train to catch. She stood up, she slammed me. Everybody sit down now, and slammed her hands down on the table. So there's 2 reactions. Mine, I burst out laughing. The shock was, it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. I burst out laughing. Another girl, she ran into the kitchen and started crying. Oh. She was more or less the same age as me, yeah? I think it's just, for me, it's that resilience thing, because for me, it was like, you can't talk to me like that. Who are you? I laughed so hard and so loud. People were looking at me. Even she looked at me like, are you laughing at me? I was just thinking, if you like, collect your job today. This one that you're doing, so I'm going to take it back home. This is the workplace. Do you know what I mean? So I burst out laughing. The other girl, she would cry constantly. She gets things wrong because the manager was very, I don't know, she has a way of like putting you down. If you don't, do you know what I mean? Her style. And for people who really want to achieve, they just come out of uni or whatever, and they're really trying to do their best in this environment, or have this dream job. They feel like they're not getting there because their manager's making them feel small. In environments like that, thick skin is so important. Because I just feel like in so many ways it crumbled her. She wants to ask for a pay rise, she's too scared. You know, like, it starts to leak into other things where you start getting very timid at work, and particularly in the workplace, I think it does really affect you. Yeah. You know? No,
resilience is everything. In terms of like just growing up, adulting.
Yeah. It is. I think it's a key part of adulting. It is. Especially in this work life and the rat race, so to speak. Like, you need to have that thick skin. It is necessary to survive in this England that we live in. Because people will say things, right? You know, just passing comments, and to them it's water off a duck's back. But to you it's the be all and end all. But actually, no, you need to be able to, not that you need to hide your emotions or you need to mask how you really feel. No, there's a way that you can address how you feel, or, you know, address a statement that's been made
without allowing it
to like, it can't be, once you said it and got it off your chest, like, let that be it. You can't now carry that and then tomorrow somebody will say something because you've carried that as well, because it's the only person that's losing is you. This is it now. So what do I say about letting someone live rent free in your head? Like, it's too much. But in terms of our children in this day and age, the sensitivity is a lot, but also the empowerment is a lot. So
that's it.
Here we are. Like, there we go. I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And to be honest, I think it's a perpetual thing. I'm sure our parents thought we were more
sensitive. Definitely.
Did you have to fetch water?
Did
you have to come back?
Yes, that's what it's true. That's what they used to say.
It's true. Your food is here. This is that way.
It's true.
So, yeah.
That's so interesting. When you put it like that, boy.
You know, another 30, 40 years, our children will be talking about their own children. Talking about this kid, they're so entitled.
It's true.
Well, what we had was simple internet. You people have got all these flying cars, and
that's true.
We had to go and put petrol in our cars. You just breathe on it and it flies.
Oh my gosh, guys. Let us know about what your thoughts are with regards to, you know, whether or not you feel your child is too sensitive or not too sensitive, how you handle it, how you empower them. I think, you know, it's a big job raising children, and we all have to help one another. We have to be a big community encouraging one another. So we want to hear your stories. That's it from us today. With love, Mums and Melanin.
Bye.